I was about to introduce a stream, but then I realized that Can High Your Low is playing at like triple time, so it will be awkward. So now that it's finally over with that,
Okay.
hello everybody, welcome back to SOFT3 once again, and this time, this is starting to get like something like a trend or something, and I'm commentating every single match, and sometimes it just joined by another commentator, and this time it's gonna be Stupid Man, Thumb, Ila, or
Whatever you want to call me.
whatever you want to call him. Joining me here for the commentary of Andre MC versus DJ Khaled. So it's a top seed versus high seed matchup. So it's promising, I'll say.
Yeah, actually, this is probably these are two players that'll probably make it very far in the tournament. Or at least that's what I'm expecting. I'm pretty sure this game in particular is going to be like deciding first or second seed coming out of this group, because I don't think any of these players will really be dropping out of the tournament during this stage.
I actually think that if DJ Khaled wins this, both of these players will be at 2 wins.
Oh, okay.
Well, actually no, because DJ Khaled never played a match, but I'll imagine DJ Khaled will beat both of his opponents. So this is like the match we're uncertain still. We don't really know who's gonna take this.
So if Andre ends up winning this, he'll still get 3 wins and be top seed though, right? Or...
Yeah, if Andre wins, he will be on 3 wins on his own, so he will definitely get #1 of his group.
Mhm.
It's the mania map here, man.
Actually, still, I mean, despite DJ Khaled being mostly an accuracy player, Andre's still edging him out. I think it's just because, like, he dropped 1-200 earlier, if I'm correct anyways.
Yeah, DJ Khaled dropped at 200 at one point. I saw that one too.
Yeah. Still, though, I think his ratio is a bit better. I would expect it to be anyways, because their accuracies are almost neck and neck.
Yeah, there's definitely there's definitely a ratio advantage for DJ Khaled, I'll imagine. I mean, 1-200 will usually be enough to be behind if the ratios are similar, but right now DJ Khaled is even ahead. So.
And now scores are flashing even with DJ Khaled's 200, so maybe if he edges out here, I mean, this could actually say a lot about like some of the consistency picks, namely like Apollon and 200 there.
Oh, that 200 was the killer, 500 points.
Yeah. Still though, I mean, these ratios, like, yeah, just edging out Andre by like what, 3,300s there. I mean, I'm pretty sure like if it comes down to it on like some of the consistency picks, it's it definitely like will at least show, I think, like that there's potential for DJ Khaled to maybe take like a point here and there.
Yep. Oh man, we both know this map before.
Yeah, and I made the mistake of well, I'm not sure. I think I'm the one who brought it up because we were out of options for rhythm rivals, but this is a mistake. And now it's being played for warm up, so that's exciting.
Well, it's not too hard, man. I asked it on my side read, so it's not like hard, right? It's not that the ending gives you like a 3 million accuracy, but
that's true, yeah.
But yeah, this is a weird choice in general. Very SV heavy, a lot of teleport.
Yeah.
Pretty much following the Coil God mapper trend, even though I'm not 100% on that trend. I like it when a map blows up of proportion the popularity of a mapper, and I think that kind of happened with Coil and Fuego. Like after that, he just got known by literally everyone, and he started mapping. And everyone was like looking for the maps. It just happens that for me, he's like sort of evening in a way. Like he succeeded on something, and he just tries to do the same thing in things that he shouldn't. Like. You're gonna notice,
to be fair,
following
I
map
feel
pools.
Or at least in this map in particular, like it's one of his first maps, and I would assume that it's not necessarily reflective of like his current charting ability. I think like more recently he's definitely done a lot better.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, his maps are in general pretty fun, but not only for the SVs. It's just that I feel he's one of those mappers that sometimes maps SVs on top of something that was already good without them.
Yeah. Just for the sake of having SVs in there.
Yeah, kind of like Evening Dust eventually, like in some of his maps.
Yeah,
Like Sky Shifter VIP, for example, is pretty good, but some of the SVs are just a bit too much, I think.
definitely understandable. I think like even I mean, unpopular opinion, but I think I'm inclined to agree with Easy in the sense that impulsive state is a bit overboard with the SVs. But there's just certain cases like that where like the SVs do go, I guess, a bit overboard. But still, I think in this case, like, I guess I'm not really sure. What it comes down to, I think, is just how the song goes and if you're really like charting the song accurately with the SVs or not. But DJ Khaled taking the point off of that one, I'm pretty sure that's because he's had experience with Rhythm Rivals.
The Rhythm Rivals. He picked it as a warm up as well. So
right.
And we see Andre rolling a 26 here. See what DJ Khaled rolls. He's gonna get the first ban. That's gonna be Andre. 57 for DJ Khaled. So I would imagine Apollon being the one banned here for Andre. Maybe Reverence. I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, okay, Shannon's Theorem. That's also makes sense.
Yeah, a bit more, I guess, speed oriented. So there's a lot more options that are maybe not options, but possibilities for like a 200 drop here or there. So it definitely makes sense as a ban.
Yeah. Well, let's see what Digicala does. I imagine Hasaro's will be the ban here. If not, Ghost Town. One of those, really. Anything that contains long nose is already a bad pick for DJ Khaled, for the most part.
We already saw in Forest Mile that he's struggling on like the really slow LN sections.
So yeah, Ghost Down is the ban here then by DJ Khaled, makes sense. And his pick, I will just say Apollon or Reverence, whoever he feels more comfortable with. And it's going to be Apollon.
I'm guessing Andre's going to end up going with Hazardous Environment, I think is the song name. Or whatever.
Yeah.
Hazardous Environment.
Yeah. Half-Life or Valve or whatever. Yeah.
Great song choice.
Yeah. It's actually not a bad song, but it's just that the name is so weird.
No, and then like not necessarily the song or like how the song goes, but more so like what the song represents, because it quite literally is the song that plays whenever you launch a source game. But yeah, I'm expecting probably a win from DJ Khaled here, unless he like drops a 200 somewhere. This is going to be very close regardless.
Have to see. I'll imagine that this is though maybe the riskier accuracy choice for DJ Khaled, I will say. Mostly because of the ending, when you have that long no layer on top of very weird snaps.
Yeah. Requiring a bit more like finger independence.
I have to see if DJ Khaled can hold on through it. Andre though, Andre is such a weird player in general because there isn't anything that he's particularly bad at it. But it's not that he shines at any point either. Like his ratios are good, but they're not amazing. His long nose ability are good, but it's not like absurdly good. Like every single thing about him is just good. But will that be good enough to beat DJ Khaled on accuracy? Guess we'll see now. DJ Khaled already starting very strongly with his accuracy, 99.99. Pulling a halogen here.
So far, though, it looks like Andre's not really letting up his accuracy either. He's dropping maybe just one or two more normal 300s, but still scores are flickering nonstop. There's really like no deciding who's going to win here. I would expect at the end of this that DJ Khaled would maybe edge out just because of the accuracy difference right now. but they're quite literally only within like 600, 700 points of each other.
Yeah, but these rolls are pretty easy to rush, and you can see DJ Khaled is dropping to the behind to the 99.98.
Oh man.
He was holding a beat to 100%. That was pretty nice. Now into the long streams here. Let's see if he can keep up with it. He's holding pretty tight here, but it's starting to open wide a little bit, like the qualifier, you know. But he's holding very, very strong accuracy here, and I can only see him dropping combo, really, because he is so focused at this point. Let's see with the long no layer if that's enough to trip him out. Andre and C is not behind at all, though, by much. They are pretty much neck and neck, but DigiCat's accuracy is definitely edging out. Oh man, the long no layer is hurting a bit to DigiCat. He almost dropped a 200 on one of them, but it's not going to be enough. He will take the point 998.6, and I think that's the best score ever recorded on this map so far.
Very, very strong. 33 normal 300s. Even Andre with a double S and a very convincing one at that. I'm not sure if he even really expected that he'd actually lose that. So that's a very impressive score.
Those two are actually very insane scores in general. Like you said, Andre might actually already be on top 10 for that as well with that score. But DJ Khaled is just close to the 999s. We're going straight into Acorn here, and we'll see if DJ Khaled can hold on through the LN staccatos.
I feel like there shouldn't be too much of a problem, considering DJ Khaled is regularly someone to actually practice SV charts. So that being said, I know Andre also like tends to like be very good on particularly LNs and SVs. So I'm not really sure who's going to take this one either. I would expect Andre to, but given like DJ Khaled's performance on the last map, and I mean maybe if he's really prepared on this one, then maybe he should be okay, but we'll see.
Considering the amount of long notes this map has overall, I can see DJ Khaled struggling a little bit more to get that accuracy up, even though he probably practiced, as you mentioned. It comes down to who drops more 200s, I think. Both players should be able to FC. Seems like the accuracy is a bit more concentrated in the middle for Andre than it is for DJ Khaled, which is a bit surprising, but considering the amount of long notes releases, DJ Khaled struggles a little bit more with that.
Yeah, and he's already dropping a couple more 200s than Andre.
Yeah, Andre is still B1 double S-ing here. We'll try to get into the 99.9 just before the speed and section, like the mania lands. You gotta also take this time to tighten up his accuracy a little bit. And he is recovering, but it won't be enough. He will hope for some breaks from Andre in terms of accuracy. Here we go. Go stabs by DJ Khaled, but he gets a 200 nonetheless.
And Andre's still holding on very strong, 99.9, only just barely dropping below that now because of this more sped up SV section here, but he's still like maintaining very tight accuracy.
DJ Khaled is also not so much behind, and Miss can definitely make up for this difference. Even a normal rush from Andre's side could be enough, but he's very concentrated at this moment. His accuracy is way above what I expected. But there we go. So last couple of releases, this is probably one of the easier points to drop accuracy, but it's not happening to any of these two players. The score of both of these players are insanely good. Even DJ Khaled with the bit of a rush on the intro, he's managed to hold on very strong.
And unfortunately, though, that rush in the beginning is probably what's going to end up costing him here. Unless
Wouldn't be
Andre
surprised.
manages to screw up in the very end, but that's pretty doubtful. I mean, it's not too bad in the very end of this chart.
Wouldn't be surprised if the ratio by DJ Khaled is slightly better than Andre, but it will be by just a very little margin, I feel. Map is pretty much decided. Nice phone.
But yeah, 1-1 now. I mean, I think it's pretty clear what songs DJ Khaled's going to take, and it's pretty clear what songs Andre is going to take. Question is, like, is there going to end up being a breakpoint here? This one I'm pretty sure will probably go to DJ Khaled, just based off of the first song, but granted, that first song's 300 difference was probably in the 20s, so I think for this in particular, it's such a short song. I think, like, really it's just going to come down to, like, how tight their accuracy is.
It's probably coming to that, but I'm not a fan of this pick by DJ Khaled, I'll say. Like, the long notes in the middle of this map can definitely cost you a lot of normal 300s, eventually even a 200. And that's exactly what DJ Khaled has to avoid, because Andre MC is not that far away in accuracy to him.
I think this shouldn't be too bad still. I mean, like, DJ Khaled isn't, like, so bad on LNs that he can't play, like, a single LN. Like, he should be relatively okay. And also, like, just the fact that, like, even if he drops, like, a couple normal 300s, it shouldn't be too bad, provided he can make it the difference in, like, the rest of the chart. And it seems like he's already doing that slightly. It's still way too close to call right now. But yeah, like, even on these releases here, he's dropping some normal 300s, actually quite a bit, but nevertheless, I'm guessing he should still be relatively okay. Worst case scenario, though, he loses his point, comes back to his pick later, and then he should be able to go into Reverence and probably take that.
I kind of agree there. I think Reverence was the pick here, but right now is Andre leading this. It will come down to the mini jacks as well at one point, so maybe Andre drops a little bit there.
Oh, and there's
that's
a 200 and another one.
Oh man, Andre, those were weird spots to drop 200s.
Yeah. Definitely not good at all either. I mean, even if DJ Khaled keeps up his accuracy here, he should be okay. Scores are flickering every now and then, but I don't think it's enough. Coming up to the end of the song here, looks like it's going to be DJ Khaled's point, just off those 200s alone, and it is 2,000 points of difference.
Yeah, the ratio from Andrew was just better overall, and I told you, there are like probably like 15 LNs on this map, and those are the 15 difference between these two. But the accuracy choke there, the 200s on the most unexpected section, I will call, costs Andres the point, and now he has to pick and has to win, sort of, because you don't want to leave DJ Khaled with Reverence open in match point scenario.
I would still say that Hazardous Environment's probably a good pick here. If not, maybe Serotonin.
It's gonna be Hazard, those environments after all. And yeah, that's right, you're correct. Serotonin is still open. That could be cool. Like, I'll imagine the match, if Andre wins this, I'll say the match gets decided by Serotonin.
Maybe.
That will be interesting.
Because I feel like Serotonin's a chart that DJ Khaled can easily take as well. I mean, Acorn was, like, relatively close, minus, like, the 200s that he dropped. But in Serotonin, the chart itself is a bit easier. It's just the SVs probably take a bit more preparation. But if they are prepared on those, then they can definitely, like, whoever's just really, at the end of the day, they just have to be more prepared on it.
I agree, but I also thing that releases a big portion of serotonin compared to Acorn. I mean, Acorn, you have the mania lens,
Yeah.
but this is just like one trick, and they're always consistent. You don't really play them as long nose. You just like
Tap, kind of.
yeah, like I don't.
You just treat it like a delayed sort of release, but like you kind of it's like a regular note. You just kind of hold down for a bit longer, but you just play it like a regular note anyways, or you read it that way.
Yeah. Essentially, but here we are now in Hazardous Environments, one of the most less popular picks. I'll say doesn't got picked that much. He actually gets a fair amount of bans. And with good reason, really. These releases are very, very tricky, and you can see that DJ Khaled is already dropping quite a heavy amount of accuracy throughout the map. But Andre manages to stay very strong into the 99.9 still.
I mean, I would say releases at the earlier stages are probably like one of Andre's best skill sets. Like even that 200 there is not going to ruin him at all. He's very on top of his accuracy game when it comes to like releases. And I mean, I think he kind of showed that during MWC, and even like now as well. He's still like prepped with the accuracy on these releases, and he's still doing way better right now than DJ Khaled. And actually, still DJ Khaled's score is not too bad either. It's just like even like just that 100 there, or maybe like a couple 200s earlier. That's all it's going to take for him to lose his point. Unfortunately,
it's a pretty sure pick, and also a pretty low note count, so every single bad judgment you drop, it's very, very meaningful. This is gonna be a point for Andre MC.
Very strong ratio too. Wow,
that's an interesting ratio, man. 31 300s, 1 200. That could be one of the best scores as well on this.
Yeah, we're seeing like a lot of good scores coming out from just this match alone. I mean, this is crazy. And now going into Reverence, being the pick in DJ Khaled here, definitely still a very understandable pick, and probably a better point for him, I would say. The question is, I'm not really sure what he's going to go and do after this, because Shannon's here and did get banned.
Well, after this, what's left is, I mean, of course, Serotonin and Joy, right? I think those are the two remaining picks.
I feel like both of those would barely just go to Andre. At least that's what I'm imagining.
Well, I'll think that... Yeah, I think that Yo will most likely go to Andre if he doesn't choke, because of the intro, like the longness on the intro will probably cost DJ Khaled quite a bit of accuracy. And for Serotonin, it's kind of a shot in the air, like you said. It's a map that requires a lot of preparation, and I imagine both of these players prepared enough to do well on it, but it's unpredictable. It's very hard to predict the score that someone is going to have on it, especially because it's like 265 combos, so like a single 200 costs 1,000,000 points, like if it is like Coinage.
Like especially in Coinage where it's like a couple 200s, like it drops your accuracy down like 2%. Maybe not that much, but it is a very,
0.2%. Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you actually miss, it will cost you a lot.
Yeah, because it's just that low of a no count.
Here we go now into the 1/3. The accuracies are actually tied up here. Andre is on the lead by like one normal 300.
But he's still dropping a lot of normal 300s in that section there. DJ Khaled is holding on very strongly.
Oh, they're tied.
These scores are tied. They were tied. Wait. Whoa. They are... Okay, I would say scores are flashing, but they are flashing between Andre in the lead and being tied. Oh, this is so tight right now.
The accuracies are pretty much the same thing, but again, the longness are costing DJ Khaled a bit of accuracy. I think he will recover a little bit when it comes to the 100 trail section. So on that, we might see DJ Khaled coming on top of it. It really depends how well Andre can keep up with those. But there's literally one normal 300 of difference, like one or two.
Yeah, it's gotta be that way. And now Andre just... Oh man, he dropped too many normal 300s in that section. Scores are flickering now, but these guys are still way back and forth. I think DJ Khaled has the lead here.
He definitely does. That single node pattern definitely helped him to get that advantage in ratio that he was looking for. And now Andre will have to hope for the ending, which is arguably easier than this section, but he has more LNs, so DJ Khaled might just start dropping a little bit, and Andre starts recovering. This will come down to the wire.
Oh man, yeah, I have. It's so close right now.
I think DJ Khaled doesn't have enough time to drop that lead. He will take this, but in a very close show.
Wow.
Less than 500 points, that is.
Yeah,
or actually,
geez.
yeah,
less than
480
500
points. It was only 14 normal 300s of difference here between these two. And now DJ Khaled is securing the tiebreaker at least. And I will argue Andre has a bit of an advantage in tiebreaker from the get-go.
Probably, yeah. We'll see, though. I mean, honestly, well, it really just depends how much these guys have practiced. I would say, like, even then, like, even if they didn't practice, I would say Andre, like, still has the advantage, but yeah, I honestly can't call this right now.
In any map that gets sort of mixed, Andre should have an advantage, just because DJ Khaled's weakness on long notes in general.
Actually, there's quite a few long notes at the end of that tiebreaker as well, so this is it's going to be something to really look out for. And I mean,
the jacks DJ Khaled should probably have an edge on accuracy, but
yeah,
it looks, I mean, it will be a matter of who can compensate better on their own strength, really.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that way of picking. If it is more than 51, it's gonna be serotonin. If it's less than 50, it's gonna be yo-yo. He rolls, and it's yo-yo.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, I gotta say that's. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, if he's willing to flip a coin in order to pick this, that. Okay, I just realized something. You probably did too.
Well, hey, yeah, let's not talk about that.
But what I was about to say is the fact that if Andre is willing to drop a coin, it's because he predicts that DJ Khaled might not do as well as he does on Yo-Yo. Otherwise, you go straight to serotonin.
Yeah.
Because Yo-Yo is the predictable pick. You can expect a performance from the opponent on a map like Yo-Yo, but you can't really know how good he will do on a map like serotonin. It's like very hard to be consistent on a map like serotonin, to be fair.
Yeah.
So we will have to see here if the long nose carry Andre to the tiebreaker. It's the Brazilian force versus the United States.
Yeah.
Who's gonna take it?
Especially in 4Q, Brazil versus USA is a very common matchup. But yeah, I'm thinking this is going to come right down to the SVs. I mean, there's really... I would say the rest of the chart's like easy enough to handle. Except there's a lot of like LNs here that like... I mean, already we can see DJ Khaled's struggling quite a bit to actually hit these correctly, so...
Yeah, he got a couple of hundreds actually. Yeah. So Andre just needs to hold the combo really in order to win this. I feel the difference is just too big already. Oh, he gets it a little bit later on the last SV, but managed to hold on the combo.
That was very lucky. If he missed there, I'm pretty sure this match would be a different story.
Most likely. Comes down to the last speed section, and Andre just needs to keep the combo up. He does so far. And I think it's already getting too late for DJ Khaled. This will be a tiebreaker between top seed and high seed. And it's probably going to define who gets the #1 spot of this group.
Probably, yeah. I would say...
Oh my god, the scores.
Whoa, that is so close. Honestly, it just came down to those 100s. That's it. I mean, like, the ratio for DJ Khaled was better, but it was just those 100s.
Gonna have to see Novore.
Man, I'm not sure what to expect.
Novore.
I'm gonna say Andre will probably take this, just because of the LNs.
I feel the same, really.
Yeah.
But I feel this is a map that DJ Khaled. Oh,
Oh.
that's not a good start.
Yeah.
I'll
So-
imagine if he practice, he can probably full combo this, and maybe that gives him a little bit of hope. But oh man, he's just not getting this mini lens right at all.
Yeah. He dropped the 100 there too.
It's been a while since we hear the tiebreaker. I think it's the first one of this weekend.
It's actually the for matches I've commentated. I'm pretty sure this is the second in a row where I've seen a tiebreaker.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm not sure how DJ Khaled's gonna fare on this. So far it seems alright, but it gets just way denser in the end section.
It comes down to how well can Andre perform as well, because this is a map that is fairly easy to choke on. So if Andre chokes a bit on this map, maybe DJ Khaled can recover from this. The difference is not that high, although the accuracy difference is there, and the hundreds were displayed on DJ Khaled's screen. And we're dropping a 200 there. It's not gonna matter all that much. His accuracy is way above DJ Khaled now. He is, I mean, the US player, DJ Khaled, is just hoping for a miss from Andre at one point. Otherwise, he's looking complicated to recover. But oh, on that quad transition. Yep.
I was gonna say the silver lining here is that at least like both players, at least before, were holding full combos, but those two LN drops just totally tanked DJ Khaled's score.
Kind of hard to coordinate there when you're starting and then with a quad and you have to release two fingers of each different hand at the same time just before the others. It gets tricky if you're not experienced with just long no coordination in general. And that definitely was displayed on display by DJ Khaled. He missed exactly there. And Andre is still full comboing this, so even if DJ Khaled could have been holding the combo there, it's still showing off pretty well. There's another drop by DJ Khaled, one of the mini jacks. That's no good news. I think still half of the map remaining, but the fate seems sort of decided, really.
I mean, it's going to take a lot of score driving from Andre for DJ Khaled to be able to catch up. Like, even if DJ Khaled were to somehow just miraculously deal an SS the rest of the song, I'm pretty sure he still at this point would not have the lead. Andre CBing though, but that's still, I mean, like, the score difference is so huge, I'm pretty sure he'll be able to keep his lead just fine.
Most likely, but that's the way DJ Khaled wants to start his comeback, if anything.
Yeah. Question is Andre going to miss a few more times? Because that's what's going to need to happen if DJ Khaled wants to be able to trade those misses back and maybe make a comeback.
Reaching the 400 combo cap there. So now a misses at this point is where it's gonna damage him the most. Bit of a slow jam here on the long nose. DJ Khaled might have a bit of issue with this. But he's holding relatively well, actually. Well done.
Except on those releases there, he's on quite a few 200s. But even then, I mean, we're coming into the dead section right about now. Score difference of about 14,000, I think.
Yeah, well, this section is not only denser, but it also contains a decent amount of LNs, which is probably the part where DJ Khaled is going to struggle the most. And he's dropping eventual 200, but Andre is dropping the combo now. still there's not much of a lead change here. Andre still, like, all his misses were isolated, really. He's still keeping up an insane accuracy regardless of the misses.
Yeah, he never really like rushed any spots. He just dropped like maybe a miss here and there, and that was it. Like, I don't think we're going to see like, any if like a few like 100s on his scoreboard here, but regardless, 4-3. Yeah, 0 100s from Andre. Only a 50 and a miss from him. So really, really strong score overall. I mean, that's probably one of the. I mean, out of all the tiebreakers we've seen this weekend, or at least even with last weekend as well, like that's probably, I'm assuming, the best score on it so far.
I wouldn't be surprised at all, really. I mean, maybe somebody manages to full combo that, and maybe that will edge him out, but
Yeah, still. I mean, Andre, though, winning this game 4-3, taking number 1 in his group, so he's, well, 1 out of group stage now, and 2 in the higher seed, so he will be playing against a lower seeded player from any other group, I believe.
yeah, there's still too early to tell who's gonna be his opponent, but tomorrow we'll have the bracket fully done, so gotta wait for that, both Andre and ourselves. But that's gonna be it for this match. It was actually a pretty intense one in general.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, man, I honestly, like, a matchup like that, I knew it would be close. I wasn't expecting like full-on tiebreaker, because like some of those maps, especially like Apollon and Reverence, were so close, so close. It really could have been anyone's game. So I mean, the fact that it did go to tiebreaker, honestly, like, very surprising for me. But still, really well played by both players.
It was indeed a very good show there. And DJ Khaled is still not out of the tournament. He still has to play his 2 remaining matches. But if he wins both, he will actually sit quite high. If he wins it like 4-0 for a second seed, he will do pretty well. Like, usually the ideal scenario for a second place is you win 2 matches 4-0, you force a tiebreaker to your top seed. That's like the best case scenario for a second place on group. But regardless, that still remains in doubt. We still don't know what's gonna happen there for DJ Khaled and for that group. We only for certain know that Andre will take the first spot of it. But with that being said, we still have more matches in around 20 minutes. We're gonna close the stream until then, and let me check real fast with matches are there. And it's gonna be Lothus versus Hesios, Elementaires versus Zenobia, and the Toaster versus Lusty Platypus. So 3 cool matches we're gonna have there. I reckon if we end up streaming, we will likely do Lothus versus Hesios. So stay tuned for that, and we will be back in around 15 minutes.